What is going on, everybody? Luis Lopez here, and I am so excited to give you the first workout of 12 of our Core Crusher program. Now, you're going to see when we do this workout today, it's going to get right into it, so I'm assuming you've already done your workout, or if you haven't, make sure to press pause, do a quick stretch or warm up, and then you can get right into this core work today, all right? So what we want to make sure to do is, first of all, let's get those straps to mid-calf, so we're going to make sure the handles are going to be just below the kneecap, all right? And we are going to be going through 4 blocks today. We're going to start with some standing movements, then we're going to go from there, all right? So if you're ready to rock, you know I'm ready to roll. We got the straps to mid-calf, and we're going to start with our forearm rollout series, all right? So what I want us to do is we're going to come together. I'm going to have you put on those straps like backpacks, all right? We're going to roll forward, and then we're going to get those forearms right into the foot cradles, okay? So this is the most important thing. Make sure you got some tension there. Now, what I want us to start with is just a basic plank hold in the forearm. So this looks easy, but trust me, it's going to really activate those abs as we go, all right? So notice, nice position, the forearms. I'm going to take that big step back with one, but don't start yet. Make sure you have tension and resistance in those straps, and then we're going to bring that other foot back in 3, in 2, in 1, let's rock and roll. So I'm just going to have you hold here. We're going to do 30 seconds of work for each exercise we do today, all right? Now, this is feeling pretty easy. I got you. Maybe you want to step your feet back a little bit closer to that ankle point, maybe closer to your door. Notice the feet are shoulder width apart, and I'm just holding here just to really make sure that my core is activated, so my glutes are nice and tight. My hamstrings, of course, are involved. My quads are engaged, and, of course, my abs are nice and braced, all right? So just hold it there. Breathe. That's all I'm going to have you do for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Go ahead and relax. Now go ahead and stand up. We're going to do 20 seconds of rest. Now, number 2, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you start doing what's called the rollout. So it's the exact same position, but this time I'm going to roll my arms forward and back. So if I showed you real quick, we're in that same position here. Notice the feet are shoulder width apart. I'm going to roll out to what you can do and then come all the way back. All right, team, let's get ready. In 3, in 2, in 1, let's hustle. So number 2, now I'm starting to roll my arms forward. Now, when you do this, you might just want to take your time, right? Maybe just move an inch or 2. So if you want to do a small movement, that is A-okay. But if you're feeling good today, maybe you just finished your workout and you really want to engage that core right off the bat, you're more than welcome to reach forward and then come all the way back. All right, team? So we're over halfway there. Continue to reach and return. Again, if you want those feet a little bit deeper, that angle, make it a little bit tougher, that's up to you. We got 4, 3, 2, 1, and beautiful. Give yourself a quick rest. Now, the next thing we're going to do is going to be a standing V rollout. So the exact same thing we just did, but this time I'm going to make an imaginary V when I do this rollout. So notice I'm back on my toes again. Same exact thing. You know the drill. This time I'm going to slightly reach to the right. So notice that one side of the V, back to center, and another side. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, let's hustle. So all I'm literally doing is slightly shifting my body to the right, reaching as far as I can, coming all the way back to center. Let's hit the other side. Woo! So you notice I'm progressing you through this exercise. You're going to notice this throughout the program. My goal is to start you with the standard, and then we start to step it up a little bit. But you always have the option to go back to the option before. So if you want to step down to maybe one of the former movements, maybe you just want to hold that forearm plank for the last few seconds. 3, 2, 1, and beautiful. All right, so now we got that core activated. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get on the ground. So I'm going to give you less than a minute. Remember, the straps are already at mid-calf, so I'm going to have you come underneath. Make sure your toes are right underneath the anchor point. Grab on the handles with both fingers. You're going to pop them right over your shoelaces. Keep your knees bent. Roll to whatever side feels good to you. Bada bing, bada boom. Guess what? We got those knees in. I told you, I'm quick. Now, what we're going to do is a crunch series, all right? So the goal here is we're going to start with our basic crunch. Some of you already know how to do that, but I'm going to start to step it up as we go, all right? So number 1, the crunch position is going to be hands, again, our shoulder width apart. I got one foot that comes behind me, then the other. The goal is I'm going to bring the knees in, but notice my hips don't move. So I want to keep those hips as stable as possible, those toes pointed straight down to the ground, all right? So we're about to get started in 10 seconds. Trust me, you're going to need this rest because as we start to go through our program, it's going to get just harder and harder. Trust me, baby. All right, let's get ready. In 3, in 2, in 1, let's go. So again, bring those knees in toward the front of the body, but notice the hips again, stay nice and still, going all the way back to that perfect plank. Toes are pointed straight down to the ground, making sure that you breathe normally, right? Like a lot of us like to hold our breath, so really just make sure to breathe naturally as you go. At any moment, guess what? If you get tired, you can drop your knees down in between. That's okay. Maybe you want to do 1 rep, and then maybe you want to do 1 knee drop. But whatever you got, just give me 4 more seconds. In 3, in 2, in 1, drop it down. Woo, okay, so That was crunch version 1. Now we're going to step it up a little bit. What I'm going to have you do now is I'm going to have you bring those hips up as your knees come in. So it's kind of like a crunch / knee tuck. We're going to get more into that later down the road. You'll see. But either way, we're bringing those hips up as the knees come in. Knees are wide, shoulder width apart in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. So exact same thing you just did, but this time the knees come in, the hips come up. You return to that perfect plank. Rinse and repeat. Are you keeping those arms nice and straight like columns on a bridge? Excellent. Are you keeping those toes dorsiflex or straight down to the ground from start to finish? Maybe you want to pop your hips up a little bit higher as you go, make it a little bit more challenging. Totally up to you, but whatever you got, make sure to finish off with the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Oh. Now I'm starting to feel the work, baby. Now, number 3, we did the crunch, the high crunch. Now we got to add the obliques. So when we add the obliques, your hips are still coming up, but now I'm going to draw the knees to one side. So what does that look like? I'm in position, feet are still shoulder apart. This time I bring the feet together. Notice my hips come up as I draw the knees to one side, then the other side. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Notice that rest goes pretty quickly, right? So remember, this is 30 seconds of work each time we go, just learning those foundational movements. I never said it was going to be easy. We're starting right off the bat with this core crusher. Why do you think I called it a core crusher program? Because my goal is to get you feeling it all the way through. Last 10 seconds, and then we'll move on to our next block. Almost there, team. Breathe. In 4, in 3, in 2, in 1. Drop it down. Oh. Team, you starting to sweat? I'm starting to feel a little bit. I know you are too. Now, we're going to go on to our next block, which is going to focus on some variations of some knee tuck moves, all right? So we're going to go on the forearms this time. Your toes are still going to be in. Grab some water real quick. Watch what I'm going to do. So we got those toes back into the straps. This time, I'm going to have you on your forearms, so it gives your shoulders a little bit more rest, right? So it almost looks like a forearm plank position. Now, obviously, when we start, you can just hold here, but my goal is, in this first set, is to get your knees to come in toward your elbows, all the way back to that perfect plank. So we always want to think about perfect plank first, and then we'll draw those knees in. So again, I'm going to show you different variations, but number 1 is that forearm plank, then we'll need to tuck it in. All right, team? So we got about 10 seconds. Remember, that rest is necessary. We need it. There's a lot of abs today. Let's get ready. Forearm position. 1 foot, then the other. Feet are shoulder width apart in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. So again, knees come in, hips come up slightly. So it was reminiscent of the high crunch that we just did. But this time we're on the forearms because there'll obviously be a progression here. Don't worry. A little surprise for you today, as you'll see. And the goal is, you'll see with all these moves we're doing, we're going to combine it together at the very end. So you can be like, oh my gosh, Lewis, what a workout today. And that was only session 1 of 12. So I'm telling you what, I'm feeling it, baby. Let's go. Give me the last few seconds. Hold that perfect plank before you finish off in 3, in 2, in 1. Drop your knees down. Good. All right. Take a breather. Number 2, we're going to do a pike now. So exact same thing, but this time the legs stay straight. Yes, it's getting tougher, but you're here with me. We came here for the challenge. We didn't want it easy, right? So forearm position. We're going to go back to our plank. This time, pop the hips up and all the way back. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Now, when you start this, maybe you just want to start with a baby pike, right? You don't want to go up too high. You just want to get the feel of range of motion. As you start to get more agile, then you'll start to bring those hips up a little bit higher to what feels good to you, right? So everybody's different. Some people can do a forearm pike way better than me, and that's cool. But it's totally up to you on the version you want to go, but it's all about nice and slow and control. Back to that perfect plank. We're almost there in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. Oh. Okay, now, how can I make this any harder? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a hold to it. So you can do that last set of the forearm pike, but you're going to hold at the top. Just for 1 second is all I need. And then we're going to finish off this block and go on to our last block of work. All right, team, so let's get down. Woo, feeling it now, baby. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. So again, pop up the pike, but hold for 1 second. Make sure you count 1 elephant, right? We're not doing a fast 1 second. I want a true 1 second. So if you say 1 elephant, maybe 1 Mississippi, whatever works for you. And make sure you hold at the top and draw all the way back. And guess what? You remember, if it gets hard, drop your knees down real quick. And as soon as you're ready, reset, pop it up and hold. Team, we've got this. Easy stuff. Stay strong for the last few seconds. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Beautiful. Now here's the good news. We are almost done with today's workout. We've got 1 more block to go, and guess what? I'm already sweating. Are you sweating? Of course you are, because you're here working with me. Now, we're going to do our last series today. Now we're going to combine everything together. We're going to start with that forearm rollout that we did. We're going to go to that high crunch, and then we're going to go to that pike, all right? So now we're combining the three so that you can see how we put it all together, all right? So hopefully you notice today, this is the kind of pattern we're going to do. I'm going to have you focus on one move at a time with some progressions, and at the end, we're going to put it all together. All right, team, so we got about 30 seconds. Trust me, I'm trying to distract you with all my talking because I know that rest is going to fly, all right? So remember, straps like a backpack. We got those forearms right in those foot cradles. And what we're going to start with, remember, is going to be the slight reach to the right and left, that V rollout, 30 seconds of work. After that, we're going to go to our next one, all right, team? So let's get ready. On the toes, we're going to start in 3, in 2, in 1, let's go. So again, we're reaching in that forearm rollout. You've already learned how to do this from the first block. Now we're just adding a little bit of application to it as we're starting to combine with different movements. But now you're really starting to reach and switch sides. Now, what I want you to think about, though, is your feet, right? If you really feel like you're kind of losing balance on that opposite foot, make sure to plant that opposite foot to the ground so you always maintain that strong foundation from start to finish. Team, we're almost there. In a few seconds, we're about to get on the ground. In 3, 2, 1, check this out. Just drop your knees. Ooh, that was smooth, right? All right, we're going to get those toes in quickly. The time is going to fly. Remember, I'm only giving you 20 seconds of rest, and we're going to do that high crunch. So a reminder of what the high crunch is. Toes are in, feet are wide. My hips come up as my knees come in. We're starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So hips up, knees in, back to starting point. Excellent. This is a lot of work. We're doing this in about 15 minutes total. And again, you're thinking, whoa, man, I ain't feeling the burn. And that is okay, because guess what? If I'm feeling it, I know you're feeling it. Woo, over halfway there. Draw the knees into the chest, back to that perfect plank. If you need to take a rest for any reason, go for it. Almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your knees down. Remember, we're going to the forearms. We're going to do that pike. So on the forearms, back in that pike position, you always start in your perfect plank. Then from there, the hips pop up. Don't worry about the hold in this first round. We're just going to do our regular pike pop-ups. All right, team? Let's get ready in 3, 2, 1. Everybody up. Now, start with your plank first. Make sure it's perfect. From there, pop the hips up, legs as straight as possible, all the way back, return. Now, if you do these right and you take your time, you'll notice it's not a lot of reps, but guess what? Even if you just did 4 or 5 of these in 30 seconds, that's a lot of work, right? You're activating your entire core. You might even feel in your quads. You might even feel in your glutes, all areas of the body. 3, 2, 1, beautiful. We've only got one more round to go. Let's do it all over again. Stand up as quick as you can. All right, team, so we're going to go back to round number 2. Forearms in the foot cradles. Make sure you maintain that tension. We've only got one more round today, and we're good. So let's get back into that position. Maybe you want to go a little bit deeper into that rollout. In 3, in 2, in 1, V rollout, round 2, baby. Reaching and returning. Now that you're feeling pretty mobile, maybe you're trying to reach a little bit farther. So if you can explode out into that straight plank position on those toes, that's going to make it feel even tougher. Excellent work. Ooh. Oh my goodness. I know I'm going to feel it after today. I know I'm going to feel it. I hope you do too. Last 4, almost done. Oh, last 3. People love when I count slow. Last 2. Oh, last 1. And excellent. Drop down to your knees. Remember, get ready for that crunch. High crunch round 2. And guess what? You know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and do the obliques. Remember those obliques we did, that one set? Let's go ahead and finish it off with this for number 2 of 3 of our exercises in this last round. Remember, both knees go to the right, both knees go to the left, rinse and repeat. 3, 2, 1, let's hustle. So again, drawing those knees to the right. Don't forget to pop your hip up a little bit. So the reason why we did that high crunch is to prepare you for these oblique crunches. It allows you to draw the hip up, allows you to get those knees in a little bit closer, always going back to that perfect plank from start to finish. OMG, now you know me. We're finishing off here with the last 3. Woo, 2, Lewis, count faster. 1, and drop it down. Okay, last one of the day. Last one of the day, TRX Pike. We're gonna hold it for that 1 elephant, 1 Mississippi hold each time. I know you got this. After that, you get to stretch. All right, team, so let's get ready. On the forearms. Let's finish it off with everything in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So pike it up. Remember that 1 second hold. And then all the way back to that perfect plank. Activate your glutes to make sure you have that plank in the right position. Again, drive it all the way up, all the way back. Are your toes staying pointing down to the ground? Are the handles or foot cradles staying away from each other? Sometimes we like to draw them and touch together, but go ahead and separate them just a couple of inches as you continue to pop through, holding in the top. We're almost done. Last few seconds. 3, 2, 1. Drop your knees down. Woo! Team, thank you so much for joining me today. Guess what? Make sure to take a recovery video because I know after that you're going to need a few minutes of rest. Take that recovery. Check out all of our awesome on-demand videos from our amazing coaches. I'll see you all back for number 2.